Hi guys, Danny here from Automotive. We're going to do another one of our vehicle reviews. This time we're going to do the Forester GT, and it's raining, so hopefully you can hear me over the top of all the rain hitting the tin roof. The GT Forester is basically the Subaru Forester, but it's the sports edition. It's the turbo motor. I'm pretty sure it runs the same setup as WRX's. They're getting pretty old now. This one's a 99 model, so we're now looking at cars about 15 years old. And if you can get one in good nick, they're fantastic. But the trouble now, it's 15 years old, and every kid that's got a little bit of Vin Diesel testosterone pumping through them gets a hold of these and they completely butcher them. So finding one that's not been P-plate modified or is not just ruined because of its age is really, really hard. Provided you can get a hold of one of these that is in good condition and hasn't had someone go to it in their backyard with a welder and an angle grinder, you've done really well. If you can find one, don't get rid of it. They're very good cars. The turbo WRX setup and all-wheel drive makes them a really fun car to drive, lots of power. Still got 4 doors, still got family wagon capabilities. But yeah, just trying to get one is hard. That Subaru have across their whole range basically. They're common that Subaru have across their whole range basically. They're common. The negatives to this are actually the same issues that Subaru have across their whole range basically. They're common for wearing out the diff in the front of the gearbox. It's the front diff for the four-wheel drive setup. They're common for head gasket leak issues because it's a boxer engine, and there's a couple of suspension issues that are common with it. And they do run a timing belt as well. That's that one we keep harping on about that costs you about $1,000 every 100,000 kilometres. Positives for these are they're really fuel efficient. They're a 4-cylinder, so to have a car with the kind of power that this has and to be a 4-cylinder is really good combination. They're good on the fuel. Safety-wise, they're not bad. They've got all the airbags, all the features, heaps of space inside, quite nice to drive. I find that the Subaru clutch and brake range, whatever you want to do, like the clutch is very heavy, and I find that with most Subarus. And same with the brakes, actually, you find that for a really hard pedal and minimal brake response. If you can get a hold of one of these that hasn't been poked with a sharp stick, and you do want to modify it, there's a few things that we do generally advise with these. Pretty much exhaust system from the back of the turbo back will give you a massive increase in power comparative to the amount of money that you spend. And changing your wheels. Other than that, I don't advise going too much further. A lot of these other things that these kids are doing to it, I say kids, they're not kids, but you know what I mean. Pod filters and air intake systems and all of these wanker mods generally does more damage than good to these cars. Yeah, an exhaust system and a decent set of wheels is all these things need. Just for our viewers' pleasure here, just some facts about this car. This one doesn't actually run the standard engine. This has had a complete STI engine, gearbox and diff transfer we did probably 12 months ago for the owner of this car. Generally speaking, this one is actually pretty good compared to some of the stuff that we've seen come through our shop. The Foresters, we've seen some really rough engine conversions and modifications. Overall, these cars, it's hard to give these ones actually a rating. If you can find one that's good, that's been owned by someone who's a bit older and hasn't tampered with it, these would be a 7 or an 8 car. But because of what happens to them and because every young kid gets a hold of them and thinks they're amazing, it's very hard to find. So generally we're seeing 5 or 6 out of 10 quite quality vehicles coming through our shop.